What's going on, guys? It's your boy Troy coming with another video. Sorry if I'm a little squinty and shit. I'm a little sweaty. I was just skating and now I'm like recording outside and the sun is kind of beaming like right here. So I'm trying not to squint, trying to look at the camera or whatever. But hold on. I'll try moving the camera 1 second. Hold on. Okay, it's a little better. I kind of set the angle a little bit to the side, like the sun's here and then I move it to the side. Anyway, how y'all doing? Today, like, I realized that I was checking through my channel, see what kind of videos I kind of want to make, and I haven't made a story time in like 6 months. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I love watching story times, so I love making them. So, because I know how people love to watch them, because I love when it's one of my favorite YouTubers upload a story time, I'm in there. So I'm like, I got y'all. Anyway, I'm feeling good. It's a good day, productive. Did my work, skated, lifted, beautiful day. Anyway, I'm gonna get right into it because it's a good story. If you obviously you saw the title, but this is the story of the first time I ever smoked weed. I'm gonna build up to it. I'm not gonna just like start off with like me smoking or anything. So basically, I just turned 16 at the time, because I remember like the first time I ever tried alcohol, I was like 15, like about to be 16. I didn't like get drunk or nothing, but I tasted alcohol. Like I tried it with my friends, and I didn't get drunk or nothing. Like I didn't even get tipsy. I just tried it, and that was right before my 16th birthday, I remember. And then after I turned 16, I was like, you know what? I don't know why. 16, like at that age, I just got like a natural curiosity, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try drugs. No, not that serious, but I was like, you know, like why not? Like, you know, everyone's telling you not to smoke weed, so why don't I not just smoke weed? So I was like, here's the thing. So I had like a, no one's over here. I don't know why the fuck I'm looking over here, but so I had an interest in smoking for like a little bit leading up to this, and I was kind of like, you know, like, dude, I eventually decided in my own head, like, you know what, I'm gonna try and smoke weed. So I ended up texting one of my friends that I know that like has access to weed, because like I said, I wasn't smoking at the time. This is my first time, so I didn't have any weed connects or anything like that. So I remember I had to ask a friend. I'm not gonna use friends' names in this, but to incriminate them. But like I asked a friend to hit someone up for me to get weed or whatever. And I'm telling you, first of all, I remember I gave my friend I gave my friend a $20 bill. I remember I gave her, she was like, I didn't know how much I wanted or whatever, so I just gave her, like, I didn't know what I needed. I don't know weights, nothing like that. So I just handed her the $20 and say, like, hey, yo, can you give me weed? And then, yeah. So I remember this specifically. I got the weed back. Remember, this was like 2016. No, this wasn't 2016. This was like 2015. Yeah, this is like mid 2015. So this shit, you gotta spare me. We got better weed now, but like back then, like I said, it's 2015. I paid $20. I got what looks like a gram in my head. Like there's no way it was a dub. It was definitely a gram, and it was like the weed was like, it literally looked like it was out the 70s, bro. It was so like, I didn't know anything better back then, but the weed was like, it was like one nug. So it was like probably like 0.8. It was like one nug, dry as fuck, one nug. And I remember, like, I gave her $20, and I remember, I don't know where I almost think she gave it to me at school. Like, I feel like she met me after school or something. It was like, yeah, here you go, I got it. And then she ended up giving me the weed or whatever. And, like, some weird middleman shit. Like I said, this weed was so, like, it literally looked like it was under his couch for, like, 3 months. Anyway, like, that's what it felt like. It was dried out, and it was green, but, like, it was dry and not so good. So, anyway, so I had this, and I remember I had this nug for maybe like a week or two, because I didn't like have the opportunity to use it. So I remember I was just like, I have it stored in my room, and I was kind of like, I would smell the bag and like, ooh, like what is this? Like it was so taboo and it was so weird. And back then, you go to fucking jail for like an eighth, bro. You have an eighth in your pocket, 5 years in prison. So like, dude, having like a gram was crazy. So like, anyway, so like I had this gram of weed, and eventually the time came. There was a party. Like, I've been trying to smoke this weed. I've been trying to find opportunities. Funny enough, I tried smoking a few times, and it didn't work. Like, me and my friends, my degenerate-ass friends, we tried smoking out of a Pepsi can. Don't ever try smoking out of a Pepsi can. It's fucking stupid. You're not supposed to smoke fucking aluminum. Never put it in a plastic water bottle. Do not do that. So, like, a few times before, we tried, like, once I had the nug, sometimes in between this party that's coming up, like, where I actually ended up smoking, I tried a few times where me and my friends tried to get a water bottle and cut it, and like we tried getting a can and doing it, because no one had bowls. We're like 15, like no one had bowls or anything like that back then. So we are trying to use cans or whatever we could use, and it was just fucking didn't work. The universe didn't allow it, which is good, because I rather I'd rather it always be like a pipe or blunt or anything but fucking aluminum, bro. It's so stupid. So I'm so glad the weed guys were on our side and didn't allow us to smoke out of the fucking can. So here we go. There's this party coming up. I end up going to the party and I bring my weed nut with me because my intention was I'm gonna find someone to roll me something so I can use it. Like, they can smoke with me, whatever, but I want to be able to use this weed somehow at this party. And I remember we're like drinking, like whatever, it gets later into the night. I was planning to stay over, like I wasn't planning on going anywhere, nothing like that. And so I was planning to sleep over, so I knew perfect. Like, I was 15, so obviously like I didn't want to like smoke weed and have to go home or nothing like that. So I remember I was staying over at a friend's place at this where the party was, and we were drinking, whatever. It's getting later into the night, and the people that like I knew them. This guy like kind of mutually, like we were kind of like involved in the same stuff. Like I would see him in the same activities, and I was just seeing him around school. Like the two people that went to my school, and like they smoke a lot of weed. And like I remember like I just telling my friends like, oh yeah, like I really want to smoke whatever. And then he was like, oh yeah, that's your guy. And I go to talk to him or whatever. I'm like, oh shit, like what do you mean? Like that's him? Like okay. And I remember talking to him and then whatever. He's super chill or whatever. And he was like, yeah, bro, I got you. And then I show him what the weed, bro. I'm telling you, this is so embarrassing looking back on it. Obviously, he does not remember it. But like, I remember giving him the nug that like, and I was like, oh yeah, bro. And he was like, match. So I remember he asked me like, hey, bro, you like, oh, I heard you trying to smoke. Like, you trying to match? And I was like, I tried to like act like I knew what I was talking about. I was like, yeah. Like, I didn't know what the fuck that meant back then. Like, that obviously just means like bring your weed with his weed together and smoke it together, basically. That's what matching means if you don't know. But like he asked me to match and I was like, yeah. Like I just knew what that fucking meant. So I remember I went with him. It was like me, this mutual friend, and like a few friends that I'm actually close with. I'm still close to this day, but I don't want to use their fucking names. But because I know like I don't want to say who's with me or whatever. But like still close friends that I'm close with today. I remember we packed in. This guy was like, oh yeah, follow me, whatever. And this is so irresponsible. Please do not repeat my actions. This is just what happened. This is my first experience. Like I said, I was kind of tipsy at this point because I didn't really drink like that. So this is probably one of my first ever times being tipsy. So I'm tipsy following these like my friends and this like mutual guy kind of to his car. And I get to his car and like it's like there's like 5 or 6 of us in this car. And it's like a fucking, I don't know what car it is, like a Chevy Impala, for instance. Like it was just like a small compact, like just like a 4-seater. I mean, it fits 5 people, but it was 6, and we're just packed tight. And I remember actually one of my like homies, like someone that I was actually really cool with, was in there. Like he was just already in the car. I was like, yo, what's good? And it just made the whole experience like really nice. And that's why I try to like first drug experiences and like first smoking weed experience, like I feel like they're really important. So I try to like make it like, I feel like it's really important for people to make you feel comfortable and make you feel like it's a good experience, that we have like a real good gauge on if it's good or not, or like if you like it or not. Because if your first experience is kind of skewed, then, or like it's kind of shit, like you're shitty people, shitty environment and stuff, it kind of fucks you up your perception of it. You're like, oh fuck, I hate weed, but you just hated the experience, but like you didn't get an honest representation. It's not you didn't get an honest chance to try it, you know. So we get into this guy's car. I'm telling you, it's late. It's like, actually, it might be like midnight at this point. But like I said, tipsy. It's like 6 of us packed in this fucking car. We're like parked in like a parking lot. Like I know he drove like around the corner to like this parking lot. And I remember specifically, he didn't have no fucking tints. Like we were just sitting up there, bitch, boxing, bro. Like I gave him my weed and he was like, man, like he kind of looked at it, was like, the fuck? Like what is this? Like he was kind of like, bro, this is some Reggie type shit. Like this is some dry ass weed. Like he was kind of like he used some of it for like a joint. I think they ended up packing I'm trying to remember. I think what ended up happening, the people that were like in charge, like the stoners, whatever, I gave them my weed or whatever, and they packed everything into a cone. So they packed maybe my weed into a cone and they packed their weed into a cone. So we had like 2 or 3 cones between like 6 people. So it's pretty fucking good, especially for me, like not smoking ever in my life. So I'm like, there's a few first times I smoked weed and it was kind of extreme. Like I can't, like I'm gonna have some more stories in the future, but like there's some times where I've done some like crazy shit, honestly, like for a new smoker that like should have not happened. But anyway, let me stay on track. He was packing cones. It was like 2 or 3 of the cones, and we're getting there. And I remember just like I remember it was just like, you ready? Like it was just kind of like we were just kind of just talking, whatever. We're all kind of lit, you know. We're all drinking, so we're all having a good time. We're laughing, whatever. And I remember like, oh, let's get it. And then they start sparking it up. And I remember, bro, I still remember like the first hit you take. And I remember just like coughing like crazy. And it's a hot box. Like I have like virgin stoner lungs. Like I've never smoked in my life. So we're just in this hot box. It's like the windows are so foggy. It's hot in there. I'm just like crazy. But it was not scary. It was not intimidating. It was so funny. Like we were just sitting there laughing. And like the most, like, you see, wish you could have cameras for these things, or like looking back. If I can just tap back in my memory, and I see it so vividly.
Yo, this is Troy in edit. I'm just laying in bed right now, but I just wanted to at least say during the story that like I feel like it's important to paint the picture of like the music that was going on, like so really low in the background of all of us laughing and coughing, like in the really moments of silence, just Nicki by Logic was playing. If anyone knows the song, look it up. It's just like a cool little stoner song. It's sick, but I remember it iconically, and I wanted to put it in because I love that song, and it was one of the first times I've heard it, and I was just high as fuck just sitting there, and it was awesome. But yeah, back to the story.
Just sitting in the car with like 6 of my friends, just laughing, smoking, just hitting that shit, laughing, and it was so fun. And I remember just sitting there, windows fogged up. I couldn't even tell if I was high or not. Like we were just laughing, and I was kind of drunk too, or I was getting tipsy, so I was kind of like there anyway. So I was just laughing, having a good time anyway. Since I'm not using any names, I'm gonna say like what happened, bro. I'm telling you this. I've been telling you the experience because it was what happened to me, and I want you to learn from this and do not fucking do this. Because okay, we're hotboxing, right? Like we just finished the hotbox or whatever. Like so there's like 6 of us in the car. Obviously, no one has fucking seatbelts on. So we're like 15. The guy driving is probably like 16, 17, whatever. But it's so stupid. I'm telling you, please do not do this. But I remember he drove, like, we were going to, like, he wanted to go to the fucking, like, store or something. And I remember specifically, we got out of the parking lot, like I said, didn't roll down the windows or nothing. And I remember us driving to, like, a grocery store. And I remember, like, we're on, like, busy streets. Like, and, like, we're on, like, busy, like, main roads. And I remember looking out the window, like, in my kind of haze. I looked out the window, and I realized I couldn't see out the window. It was so fogged over, and it was so hot, and like he had cloth seats and shit. Like it was so fogged over that you couldn't even see out the window. And I really thought for a second, I was like, man, I really can't see. And I was like, how the fuck is the driver see? Like I really like thought for a second, I was like, holy shit, like how is he driving? And then like I remember just sitting in the back, like I mean I was kind of lit, so I wasn't really like paranoid or nothing, but like it was so stupid. We ended up getting to like the store or whatever, and I remember we all got out and like took a piss, or like we all got out and like used the bathrooms. We were all like drinking stuff, like I said. So I don't think the driver was drinking, by the way. Like we were not drunk driving, not glorifying that or anything like that. He was smoking, but still doesn't make it good. You shouldn't be driving under the influence of anything. But like I said, I'm just telling you what happened. But we ended up getting to the store, like everyone using the bathroom. I remember just like laughing because everyone that wasn't drunk. I'm like, for the first time ever smoking, I was like crossfaded. So I was giggling. Like I said, nothing was crazy. It wasn't like overwhelming by any means. Like I was tipsy and I smoked, so I was just having a good time. Like it was a really good time. Like I had a really fun first time smoking. Like I said, we got to the store, used the bathroom, and we got some snacks, and then we ended up coming back to the house, and then everybody ended up crashing. And that was kind of the end. It was overall like it was an amazing experience for my first trip. It was an amazing experience for my first time smoking, because it was just so fun. Like I was just with a lot of like people I knew, a lot of my friends, and it was so fun because it was just like an experience where like I'm glad to even be close still to some of the friends. I'm like, oh, like I think about it and I see them, I'm like, oh, I remember that, bro. We were 15, 16, like bro, like, I'm 22 now, so I've been smoking for like roughly because I won't count, like, since I was 15, so it's like 7 years, maybe 6.5 years ish. I've been smoking at this point, and it's fucking crazy. Like 6.5 years, like that's so much fucking time. Like now I don't smoke as much as I did back then, but like it's still fucking nuts. Like looking back on it and like how that experience really was. Yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the story time. Like and subscribe. Thank you for 200 subs, and love you guys. Peace.